evening. This is just in. There have been reports of lightning strikes in and around Treetops Raceway Park. Oh, it's just the Lightning Strikes Twice tournament. Get ready. This is an all-electric vehicle diecast racing tournament presented to you by Treetops Raceway Park. Stay tuned for some intense racing action. Good morning and welcome back to Treetops Raceway Park, home of the crossover. Today we will be showing you the quarterfinal groups. It'll be heats 9 and 10 of the quarterfinals, or heats 1 and 2 of the quarterfinals if you want to put it that way. Here you go, looking at the cars that are going to be running today. The medical crew and fire department is there, ready to go. Today we've got the banana car giving rides. And here is the first race will be NUMBSKULL from NUMBSKULL Racing in that 2012 Fisker Karma EVer at 59.7 grams. And then we will have Static from Road Rage Racing in a Chevy Volt at 59.8 grams. Next we will have DALEVIS Jenkins from COMMOTION Diecast, and he will be driving the Tesla Roadster at 56.8 grams. And then BIFF KIRBY from NRV Diecast Racing in a Tesla Model X at 60 grams. And here will be your quarterfinal, race 1. We have Static and NUMBSKULL on the front row, Biff and DALEVIS in the back row, and they're off. And it looks like NUMBSKULL is going to get the whole shot, followed by DALEVIS. And it looked like Static tried to make a pass on DALEVIS, but got shut down. NUMBSKULL is going to lead them into the final turn. DALEVIS is going to push hard, but they're going to finish 1-2. Static third, and Biff fourth. Right there you see Static got on the outside around Biff and then tried to get on the inside. A 9.421 for NUMBSKULL. Holy smokes. That puts him at the top of the leaderboard again. Another new track record for NUMBSKULL with a 9.421. So NUMBSKULL gets the 5 points for the win. DALEVIS with 3, Static with 2, and Biff with 1. And here we go, race 2. We have NUMBSKULL and DALEVIS in the front row, Static and Biff in the back row, and they're off. It looks like DALEVIS is going to get the whole shot here, followed by Biff with NUMBSKULL. NUMBSKULL spins. Him and Static get into it. It looks like DALEVIS and Biff are going to take off and lead into the third or the final turn. There they go. Biff looks on the inside but can't make it stick. NUMBSKULL and Static will come in. NUMBSKULL gets sideways and Static will push him across the line with Flagman Bob waving the flag. Right there you see NUMBSKULL gets sideways. And right here you see Biff hit up underneath DALEVIS, and DALEVIS just accelerates and pulls away. NUMBSKULL loses it. He ends up backing across the line with the help of Static. And a 9.486. And DALEVIS will hit the leaderboard at number 2 with a 9.486. Congratulations to DALEVIS. So DALEVIS gets the 5 points, Biff with 3, NUMBSKULL 2, Static with 1. So DALEVIS at 8 and NUMBSKULL at 7. And now we've got race 3. We have DALEVIS and Biff in the front row, NUMBSKULL and Static in the back row, and they're off. Looks like Biff is going to get the whole shot, followed by DALEVIS and Static and the NUMBSKULL. Whoa! Biff got up on the side rail and lost it. He was fully in the air. But he will lead them into the final turn backwards. And he will take first. And now, oh, look at that pass from NUMBSKULL right across the line. There you go. You can see right here, Biff is fully in the air. How he stayed on the track, I do not have a clue. They come around, and NUMBSKULL's got a nice head of steam coming. Static moves to the side, and NUMBSKULL goes right by him for the pass to take third place. A 10.360 for BIFF. And with that, DALEVIS is leading with 11. NUMBSKULL and BIFF are tied at 9, and Static with 4. And now we have race 4. We have BIFF and Static in the front row, DALEVIS and NUMBSKULL in the back row, and they're off. And it looks like BIFF is going to come out with a hole shot, followed by Static, then NUMBSKULL, and then DALEVIS. Oh, NUMBSKULL gets by Static. NUMBSKULL, BIFF leads them into the final turn, followed by NUMBSKULL, then Static, then DALEVIS. Oh, BIFF crashes. Oh no! What happened to the flag guy? Guys. Is Bob okay? Oh, he thought they were going to take out his flag stand, so he jumped, he said. He said he's fine. Didn't get hit. Just got a bruise from landing on the side of the wall. But here we go. Right there, NUMBSKULL gets on the inside of Static. DALEVIS tries to get by and cannot. And there you see BIFF comes in backwards and loses it. And NUMBSKULL comes in and hits him to get him going again. And here comes Static, hits BIFF, and DALEVIS hits NUMBSKULL and rattles around, and Bob jumps. 10.651 for BIFF. So BIFF will have 14, DALEVIS and NUMBSKULL with 12, Static with 6. So that brings us to BIFF is moving on, but DALEVIS and NUMBSKULL are tied at 12. So now we will run a sudden death, best of 3 race. NUMBSKULL will have the inside preference due to the faster win race. You got NUMBSKULL on the inside, DALEVIS on the outside, and they're off. It looks like DALEVIS is going to pull the hole shot. NUMBSKULL's back, he is gaining. He's pushing him a little bit. He's trying to get by. He just can't find the hole. He's going to take another run in the final turn. He goes to the outside, and DALEVIS just accelerates out. DALEVIS will take it with NUMBSKULL right in tow. You can see right here, NUMBSKULL is pushing. He's trying to find a way around and just cannot. He looks at the high side here, starts to get by, and DALEVIS shuts the door. So that'll put DALEVIS with a 10.650. And DALEVIS will go up by 1. Now we have DALEVIS on the inside, NUMBSKULL on the outside. They're off. And it looks like NUMBSKULL is going to pull the whole shot here. DALEVIS spins, and DALEVIS is out of the race. NUMBSKULL is running hard. And NUMBSKULL will take the win. DALEVIS just over-accelerates coming out of that corner and kicks it sideways and gets stuck against the rail. The 10.089 for NUMBSKULL, which gives him the inside lane advantage. Although today that is not looking to be the advantage. NUMBSKULL on the inside, DALEVIS on the outside. Race 3, they're off. And again, DALEVIS looks like he's getting the whole shot. NUMBSKULL's getting a run. No, he can't get by. DALEVIS is going to lead him down into the third to the left. He's going to lead him into the second. NUMBSKULL's on the inside. Oh, DALEVIS shuts him off. DALEVIS is going to lead them to the finish line, and NUMBSKULL shuts it down. NUMBSKULL's pushing it. NUMBSKULL had an inside line right here, but DALEVIS comes down and pinches him off. You can see right there, NUMBSKULL had the run. But DALEVIS with the defensive driving. DALEVIS turns at 10.515 and gets that second win. Both of these cars are very fast cars. And moving on will be DALEVIS along with BIFF, and we will be seeing them in the semifinals in 2 weeks. And now for our quarterfinal 2, it'll be GEORGIO from G-Force Racing and a LUCID Air at 59.7 grams. And then we will have Scooter Roundwell from Spirit of 64 Diecast Racing, and he will be in a LUCID Air at 56.1 grams. Then we have Daddy G from G4 Diecast Racing and a Tesla Model 3 in a 59.4 grams. And Grumpy Cloud from Grumpy Cloud Racing in a Tesla Model X at 58.7 grams. And this will be quarterfinal 2, race 1. The front row will be Scooter Roundwell and GEORGIO, and Grumpy Cloud and Daddy G, and they're off. And it looks like GEORGIO is going to pull the whole shot, followed by Daddy G, with Scooter Roundwell right on Daddy G's bumper. Grumpy Cloud is bringing up the rear. GEORGIO is going to lead in the final turn. Daddy G gets around sideways. GEORGIO wins. Daddy G gets completely sideways, blocks the tracks, collects Scooter and Grumpy Cloud. We get a triple DNF here. I hope this is not a sign of things to come. We'll get this track cleaned up, but you see Daddy G somehow gets turned around completely sideways and cannot recover, which causes everybody else to kick sideways and get stuck. A 9.958 for GEORGIO, which is not fast enough to get on the leaderboard. So GEORGIO leads with 5. And now we will have race 2. GEORGIO with Daddy G in the front row, Scooter Roundwell and Grumpy Cloud in the back row, and they're off. And it looks like Daddy G is going to pull the whole shot here. Grumpy Cloud pinches off GEORGIO. Grumpy Cloud will be in second. Daddy G loses it, kicks sideways. Grumpy goes by. Everybody goes by Daddy G. Grumpy comes out of the corner and loses it. He gets slammed off the track by Daddy G. He got slammed off the track by GEORGIO. And then Scooter loses power. Daddy G comes up and hits Scooter and pushes him across the line, but Daddy G cannot make it across the line. So we get a double DNF. I don't understand what happened to Grumpy. Maybe we can see this on the replay. Here, Grumpy comes down and pinches off GEORGIO. And then Daddy G loses it. Grumpy goes by on the inside. Everybody else goes around on the outside. But Grumpy Cloud loses it. And, it looks like a little payback there from GEORGIO. He puts Grumpy Cloud underneath the second track at Treetops Raceway Park, the rally track, and gets him stuck on that ramp. And then Daddy G comes and pushes Scooter across the finish line. An 11.055 for GEORGIO. So a double DNF. So we have GEORGIO with 10 points and Scooter with 3. Everybody else still struggling to get on the board. And here we go with race 3. We'll see Daddy G and Grumpy Cloud in the front row. GEORGIO and Scooter in the back row, and they're off. It looks like Daddy G is going to get the whole shot. Grumpy Cloud gets on the rail and spins. He's holding up. Oh, he gets by. Looks like Scooter and GEORGIO are stuck on the straightaway. Oh no, GEORGIO's flipped over. Sorry, not GEORGIO. That's Grumpy Cloud is flipped over. And Daddy G spun again on that last turn. He has 0 momentum going into that turn and come out and he lost it. They're checking on Grumpy Cloud and cleaning up the cars over there in the straightaway, getting everybody back. Hopefully we get them charged up for the next race. You can see right there, Grumpy Cloud got up on the rail and he just could not recover as they're pushing. He finally gets free, but he comes out of that turn trying to catch up to Daddy G in reverse. Right there's what explains how Daddy G lost all momentum. He spun out there again, and it looks like Grumpy come out of that corner a little too hard and rode right up on the side of the rail coming out of the turn. Daddy G sideways, and Grumpy is already up on the rail. Okay, guys, let's get this race in. Let's try this again. Same lineup. And they're off. Once again, it looks like Daddy G is going to pull the whole shot, followed by Grumpy Cloud. Giorgio gets around the outside of Scooter. He's pushing on Grumpy. Daddy G is going to take it into the final turn, and he will have a good lap this time, Daddy G. Here comes Grumpy in second, Giorgio in third, and Scooter in fourth. You can see right there, Giorgio gets around the outside of Scooter, and he's trying to get by Grumpy Cloud and just can't do it. Daddy G is running a good line. Everybody ran pretty good lines and just stayed single file as they come across the finish line. A 9.379 for Daddy G. That is a new track record. This track record keeps falling every week, guys. Congratulations to Daddy G on a 9.379. So now we have Giorgio with 12. He's a shoe-in to move on. Scooter with 4, Daddy G with 5, Grumpy Cloud with 3. Who finishes second is completely up in the air and dependent on this race. We have Grumpy Cloud and Scooter Roundwell in the front row, Daddy G and Giorgio in the back row, and they're off. And it looks like Scooter's going to pull the whole shot, followed by Grumpy Cloud with Daddy G. And Daddy G kicks sideways. He is still sideways, and he's stuck up in the straightaway. Oh! Scooter flips Grumpy Cloud going into the last turn and just takes his time crossing the finish line. His spotter must have told him that he was the only one left to finish. This group sure did tear up some metal this week. You can see right there where Scooter pushed him over, 11.572 for Scooter. So with that, Giorgio still stays on 12 points, and Scooter gets the 9. So Giorgio and Scooter Roundwell will be moving on to the semifinals. I want to congratulate BIFF, DALEVIS, Giorgio, and Scooter Roundwell on transferring to the semifinals in 2 weeks. As always, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this telecast. And as always, thanks for watching. See you next week.